chapter anniversary for the Lambda chapter of Kappa outside. My name is Keith Williams, and I'm Spirit, and I'm here to introduce our MC for the evening, Houston's anchor and weatherman. You all know him, and he's a member of Kappa outside. Gamma out Arizona State, 1972. He's a husband. He's a father of 3 daughters, 4 grandchildren. He's an Army brat out of Fort Bragg, and he got to Houston in 1999. Now, he is the past chairman of the Big Brothers and Big Sisters. He is the past chairman of the YMCA of Houston, and he was the chairman of Harvey and Kobe. He also chairs the Martinez Walk, and the largest walk in Martinez history was chaired by Brother Cambrell Marshall. So, our MC for the evening, you all know him. He is a great brother, a great news and anchorman, great husband and father. And we're going to give him his 50-year jacket right now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Man, oh man, the stories that could be told in this room tonight. And I know many of you have been telling them already. So some of you don't know about the hidden microphones we've been having around. We'll be playing that back later on. So brothers, just know that that's the case. What a great, great thrill and privilege it is to be a part of this 50 years celebrating this chapter. I was thinking about that on the way over here. April 29th, 1972, 3:30 a.m. the riverbed of the dry Salt River Project at Arizona State University. And I remember that moment very well, and how much it changed my life for so many ways, because of brothers who I didn't know before I started pledging. And then when we got done, we've been friends and brothers for life. I was number 2 on my line. My rock lost him about 4 years ago, and he was my best man, and I was his best man, and he's my kids' godparents. That's that bond that we have. You know what I'm talking about. And it's so nice to see you together tonight, and the lines get together, and the lies being told. No, I don't know how many brothers I talked to who talked about them having to pull their other brothers over the line. I mean, you know who you are. Had to carry him across the sand. Yeah, it happens. But it is so nice to be here because I have been away from from Arizona State. I left Arizona as quickly as I could, but for a lot of reasons. But my chapter is I haven't been able to be back and be a part of their history. But our brothers who I was with during that period of time, we still stay in contact. There's nothing like that brotherhood. Kappa outside has been an amazing organization, and we're so honored, all of us, to be a part of it and be able to celebrate 50. So thank you so much for having me here this evening. We want to get started with our invocation. Pastor Robert Levine, fall of 1974. You come forward and offer the invocation for us. Laverne? What did I say? Change your name, I'm sorry.
It's Robert Laverne. What a blessing it is to be here tonight. To rub shoulders with history. Way back when. But we still can smile and tell the stories of how the doors was opened here at the University of Houston in 1973 and 74. We've come a long way. So as we pray, we'll reflect on that and pray for the brothers and sisters that here and those that was unable to make it. All of our Kappa brothers that went to be with the Lord. My line brother Charlie Miller did this last year. So let's pray. Eternal God, we come, Lord, with thanksgiving. We come with praise, with our minds stayed on Thee, knowing that You have all power in Your hand. As You looked down upon us last night, we tossed and turned in our beds. But Father, You brought the smile on the faces and the happy hearts tonight. Thank You for watching over Ada Lambda, dear God. For the past 50 years, and here we are with memories and with history that overtook the odds. But Father, You paved the way, and You've kept us together as a family. And we just want to say thank You, Lord. Thank You, Lord, for being so good to us, that we may have another 50 years. Those brothers that kept the fire burning, we want to say thank You in life. Bless us. Amen.
Amen. We're going to have the ushers in the back with the blessing. Yeah, that's what the pastor wanted. Brother Dorsey Perry, spring of 2002, President of the Lambda Alumni Network. All right, good evening, brothers. Good evening. Man, it seems that the plan for this event took place over 2 years ago, but this moment right here, right now, has been 50 years in the making. You know, it's something about time. You know, time is so important that back in the spring semester of 2002, when the 8 wonders of the world came through, you know, we learned something about time, something about, pool parameter being such to say the discourse, the rest area movement, something along those lines. What I've come to learn about time is that the more time passes, the clearer things become. You know, when I was spring of 2002, I was kind of young and dumb, I guess. It's kind of going about life. But as you go through life, you have experiences and stuff that change you. And recently, I've had the opportunity to talk to, really the privilege to talk to someone from every line, from 74 to fall 23. And the one thing I can stand up here and attest to say is that we are absolutely all more alike than we are different. I spoke to Brother Jobert, and he said that back in the fall of 82, their kilometers didn't work either. He decided the whole thing all the way down to the last tick and time. So another brother, in which I hold in high regard, asked me a question. He said, Dorsey, what's the point of all this? Why take the time to, plan this weekend and all these festivities? And I told him, I think that this can be a start for the next 50 years in which it's a more cohesive Ada Lambda. An Ada Lambda in which we build a bigger sense of community. If you're going out to a park, go ahead and shoot an email to the brothers and let them know what park you're going to. Maybe some other brothers in the area that just stop by. I know a lot of people are going to be going to Dallas this year to watch the Cowboys beat the Texans. We are, absolutely. All right, well, without further ado, I know I'm tired of hearing me talk. It is my absolute honor and an absolute pleasure to officially welcome everyone to the Ada Lambda 50 Years of Excellence. And we will now have a video from our grand pro mark for the Jimmy McMichael.
To my
to see if we have some folks to introduce to you before we get to the roll call. I'm really looking forward to that. Do we have any national, state, local politicians? Any of you in the category of local, national, or state politicians? If so, please stand up and be recognized. Okay? For our Kappa Alpha Psi's 50th Laurel Wreath recipient, Dr. Bernard Harris, Ada Lambda 75. And for those, obviously, for those who have guests in the room, that is the highest honor that is bestowed of Kappas. And it is amazing and wonderful to see you here, Doctor. Anthony DeBlanc, Spring 81, second time Houston alumni pole mark. Diallo Smith, Spring 91. This chapter to become the Houston Alumni Chapter pole mark. So congratulations on that. Gerald McKelvey. Member of former University of Houston Board of Regents. So Wayne Luckett, University of Houston Alumni Association Foundation past president, current Board of Visitors. Keith Cornelius, Spring 80. Current Houston Alumni Association Foundation Board member. And Ronald Wackett, Southwest Province Elections Chairman and Administrative Assistant to the Southwest Province Poll Mark. Good to see you all. Anybody from Cuddy Stark here? Cuddy Stark, 1974, live. Fall of 74, Seagram 7. Where are you? Spring 75, Dionysus. Spring 76, Soul Survivors. Spring 77, Electrifying Elites. Spring 78, New Breed. Fall 78, Untouchables. Spring 79, Double Trouble. I want to ask Eric Moore, past poll, Ada Lambda, Spring 78, to come up and pick up the roll call.
Thank you, Brother Gary Brown. I am excited to be able to come and meet the next group. Actually, some of these guys I actually played, so this ought to be fun. Spring 1980, Executive Cut. See, they sit at my table, so I did something all right, huh? Fall 1980, the best yet. And then, of course, the great Spring Spring 1984, 9 Lives. All right, Spring 1985, 7 Young. That's there. Oh, okay, all right, I got you. All right, fall 1986, Brother Cool Genesis. Okay. Fall 1987, Chosen Ones. That ain't all, okay. All right. Spring 1988, Agree Apart. And then spring 1989, Among the Young. All right, everybody. All right, yeah. All right, we're going to get Woods Perry back up here, and he's going to give us the next thing.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much, Brother Moore. All right, here we go. Stepping into the 90s. We got spring 1990, the age of insanity. Spring 1991, Secrets of the Diamond. Spring 1992, Final Four. Spring 1993, the 99. Spring 1994, the 5 Diamonds of Destiny. Spring 1996, 7 Diamonds in a Row. Spring 1997, March Madness. Spring 1998, 9 Diamonds of the Phoenix. Spring 1999, the 28th Infantry. Spring 2000, 9 Diamonds of the Millennium. Spring 2001, 11 Crimson Cuts of the Diamond. Yes, we have spring 2002, the 8 Wonders of the World. I don't know. Sweet, no. I said, yeah. Don't get too carried away. Spring 2004, 9 flawless rays of clarity, 100%. Spring 2006, 7 Diamonds, created to be hated. Spring 2007, the new print. All right, we're going to have Brother Frederick Nolan to the stage to take us on.
Good evening, everybody. I like to clear it up. Introduce my big brothers. We gonna break. And Diamonds Cuts of Pressure. Fall 2008, 8 Diamonds of an Unspoken Prophecy. Spring 2009, True Diamonds Can't Be Crushed. Spring 2010, Real diamonds, immaculately cut. Getting the new era territory right here. Ball 12, the 5 minute carnated diamonds of the steam cut. Yo, I'm a representative. Ball 2014, the 5 inch diamonds cut of excellence. Spring 16, 8 crazy diamonds of the Lord achievement. Yeah. My boys right there. Spring 17, the 5 clean cut diamonds of triumphant honor. So you know, right to DC. Spring 2018, 8 distinct diamonds of clarity. Spring 2019, 9 refined diamonds of redemption. Spring 2020, 5 prolific blood diamonds of the beauty model. As you can see in the new era, that line is a lot more creative. Spring 2022, the 7 incorruptible diamonds cut to perfection. Young boys in the back. And last but not least, fall 2003, the 4 intellectual diamonds cut of achievement. That's a roll for our loops.
Let me ask you, you young brothers, where y'all come up with those names? This is a generation gap. That's some creative stuff there. Continue to think about those names as you enjoy your dinner with the children's program shortly.
He handed the unfinished project to me with instructions to finish. And then he passed on to the chapter of this. His kids are here tonight, Morgan and Mason. Because if he was giving this talk, they would have been here to listen to me. So I've accepted this responsibility to finish the project in a manner that will make me proud. I want to give special thanks to the brothers Gerald McKelvey, Carl Barrett, Larry Houston, Rudy Gray, Michael Easley, McCoo, Ron Haywood, Hollywood, Eric Moore, Rooster, Byron Joubert, Greg G. Jordan, Thomas Whitaker, Tom Boudreaux, Tron Allen, Tron wrote my breakdown, Xavier Williams, Diallo Smith, Will Ross, Ashton Taylor, Dorsey Carey, Dale, we call him Dale, Casey Oquanko, and Travis Frater for their contribution. I talked to these brothers, they gave me some insight. So Scott wanted to give this talk tonight. Scott hoped he would be able to give this talk tonight. He hoped he would live long enough to do this. And when he realized he couldn't, he gave it to me. I got it right here. He gave it to me. He called it Standing on the Shoulders of Kappas. Yeah. So he printed it all out and wrote it for me. He told me what to call it, so I'm calling it Standing on the Shoulders of Kappas. And then he essentially told me what to say. Basically, what I'm talking to you about right now. And I said, man, you tell me what to do, you tell me what to say. Is there anything else I can do for you? You talk about leaning on the shield. Scott! Leaning on the shield. So he wanted to do this presentation at this function, at this time, calling it Standing on the Shoulders of Kappas. So that's what we're going to do. So brothers, guests, what does that really mean? What does it mean, standing on the shoulders of Kappas? What was my little brother trying to tell us? Well, I decided to start my investigation by looking up the phrase. I mean, I got a college degree, like most of us. I kind of knew what he was talking about, but I wanted to be sure. So I looked up standing on the shoulders of. You know, we've all kind of heard the phrase standing on the shoulders of giants, standing on the shoulders of this, that. We've heard it. But I said, you know, you can use that university, use it in education. And I looked it up on the internet. And first reference was from this French philosopher, Bernard of Chartres, and that was like 900 years ago. But he said that we are like dwarfs on the shoulders of giants, so that we can see more than they, and things at a greater distance, not by virtue of sharpness of our sight or any physical distinction we have. We ain't special. It's because we are carried high and raised up by their sight. That's why we can see better. Then after that, I kept looking because I thought that was too old. I'm not going to do it. So I saw the next reference was only 300 years old, and it was from the famous scientist Sir Isaac Newton. Y'all remember that? Sir Isaac Newton, the apple dropping on his head, something like that. And what Sir Isaac Newton said, if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. And with these words, he was explaining that his brilliant ideas did not come from him alone. He was telling everyone that part of his success was that in addition to his own ideas, he relied on the ideas of those that came before him. A third and more modern definition, because I kept looking, of the phrase might be to make discoveries, insights, progress, due to the discoveries or previous work of those who have come before us, standing on the shoulders. So regardless of the definition, I think what Scott wanted to tell the brothers of Lambda is you didn't do this by yourself. That's what he wanted to say. That's what I think he wanted to say. So we didn't do this by ourselves. Okay? The Dorsey Mayor didn't do this by himself. Keith Cornelius didn't do this by himself. We did this together. So he wanted to remind everybody that the foundation of Ada Lambda was built by brothers like Kenneth Hale and Gerald McKelvey and Rudy Gray. And on their shoulders, still Michael Easy and Ron Haywood and Eric Moore and Keith Cornelius and Fred Taylor and so on and so on and so on. Everybody standing on everybody else's shoulders. That's how it's supposed to be. So then, after Scott told me what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, he presented me with a second manuscript. And in this manuscript, he called it the Ada Lambda Challenge. So he gave me this too. And then he was trying to be all secret with it. You can look at the top, he got confidential, Craig, your eyes only. You know, like I'm James Bond, open up a packet, do a secret mission. Don't let nobody look at this. I said it to Will Ross as soon as I got it. And he said that if somehow he couldn't make it to the 50th, he couldn't be here tonight. He said if somehow he could not make it, he wanted me to read these words to the brothers. These are his words. Morton and Mason, these are the words of the man. To the current brothers of Ada Lambda, I say to you that what we all 100% unadulterated, top-notch, first class, grade A, USDA, prime choice, State City News.
All right.
We are first and foremost Kappas. You are here on this day, at this time, in this place, standing on the shoulders of Kappas. For some reason, Scott really wanted us to remember that wherever we are on life's journey, and wherever we are on our journey with Kappa outside, we didn't get to this point by ourselves. And because we're talking about a bunch of Kappas at the University of Houston, and the things that Kappas do, there is no way that we would have the legacy of achievement that Ada Lambda is known for without each generation of brothers improving on the efforts of men that came before them. That's right. That's what we do. That's right. This is what the brothers of Ada Lambda do. We grow, we learn, we help ourselves and we help others. We protect ourselves and we protect others. We always strive to get better. and we always keep achieving. This is what we do, and we've been doing it for 50 years. Brothers, one of the most striking things I learned over the past few months is how closely the history of Lambda mimics the history, the early history of Kappa fraternity. For example, on this history document that I read 20 times, Brothers Young got to get this thing. 3 months, this is what Brian K. Armstrong wrote. This ain't in the story that Kappa outside the book we all got. Okay, I got mine. It ain't in there. What Byron King Armstrong said is that 3 months after the fraternity was founded, they threw their first party. 3 months, well, 3 months in a week, they do a big old party at the boarding house. And the purpose of the party, you know, we like to party, okay, nothing wrong with that. It's a social organization. There wasn't no guideline in 1911. Okay, the brothers founded, according to Byron King Armstrong, this fraternity was founded for 2 reasons. It was founded so the brothers could protect each other because they was getting abused up in Indiana, in the Midwest, without a lot of protection. You got a brother here, brother there, brother there. Brothers wasn't together, and brothers isolated in that time and place was at risk. So the fraternity was founded to protect the brothers. And the second reason Byron K. Armstrong said we started this thing was to have some fun and have some parties. Because it wasn't nothing to do up in Indiana. What like you come to New York City or DC or New Orleans? It wasn't nothing to do up in there. So when there's nothing to do, you figure out something to do. So they said we're going to have some parties. So 3 months after the fraternity was founded in 1911, these brothers are throwing down at the house. They throwing down at the house. Brother Armstrong said the first party was a weekend-long affair that started on Friday night and ended on Sunday afternoon. What are we doing up in here? We started on Friday and we go into Sunday afternoon. We like the founders. Or the founders are like us.
Standing on shoulders.
Standing on shoulders. During the party, what Founder Armstrong says that the female guests, and excuse me ladies, I'm just reading. So I mean, don't kill the message. But Brother Armstrong said that the female guests in many cases were imported from the 4 corners of Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, and Missouri. I was thoroughly impressed. They imported from the 4 states. You know how hard that is to do for a black man in 1911? So I was reading that, I'm like, man, I kind of wish I had some pictures or something, you know. Now at the end it said that the house where the party was held, they had all the meals there, they kept the women folk, they kept them in the house, and they were chaperoned by the brothers' mothers. I don't know about that. So, just like the founders of Kappa Fraternity Incorporated did in the spring of 1911, as soon as the brothers of Lambda could in 1974, they had a party too. Ain't that right, Joe? Yep. Right. Because fortunately, Brother Gerald McKelvey was one of the dorm advisors, and he had the dorm advisor faculty some kind of interconnected thing to have a party on campus. Well, Kappa Outsiders had to have the first black dorm advisor on record. So, you know, we had all the parties. How did that happen? They started having parties. So consequently, Lambda owns the distinction of being the first black organization to hold parties in Town Hall, the first to hold parties in the OB Hall, in the ballroom, the first to hold parties in what used to be the Houston Room, the Crown Jewel. We've been leading the way since we got here. Praise the Lord. I'm going to digress for a minute. I read this in Brother Armstrong's history. Y'all know in 1911, you know, they were trying to expand the fraternity, and all the fraternities were pretty new back then. All the alphas and the megas were new. And so the megas was trying to expand to the west. It was all on the east coast. And since the Kappas had the Midwest locked up, the president of the megas called Kappa, called every once it is, and said, hey, y'all want to merge and join up? And we can have a big giant frat overnight, like some kind of corporate merger. You know, y'all got the east and we got the west, and we're going to blow it up. Y'all know what Elder Watson did say, right? Elder Watson did say, no, I don't want to do that. But we'll pledge all of y'all to make the Kappas, and that's what y'all ain't going to be no kids. And of course, the president of the Mega South 5 respectfully turned that down. But that's what Elder Watson did, is counter offer. No, we'll turn you into Kappas. We'll do that. As we all know, Kappas at the University of Houston know how to throw a party. We good at it. Always have been, always will be. I was in the 70s. I was fall 70s. I was in the late 70s. I thought it couldn't get no better. We was running it. Running it. We had 3 big parties every semester at the UC, made thousands of dollars for the exchequer. We was giving money away. We disrespected money. The brothers before me, McCool and all of them brothers, they had just had the largest Greek show in the history of the state of Texas the year before I played. So I'm coming in on those shoulders. So if I'm going to have a Greek show at a Lambda, I'm standing on the shoulders of the brothers that just had the largest Greek show in the history of the state. Ain't no pressure. But that's what we was running with and working with back then. Upon reflection, I now see that is an example of my line brothers and the brothers in the chapter standing on the shoulders of Kappas. Like my brother said, we were standing on the shoulders of Kappas when we threw our parties. We were standing on the shoulders of Kappas when we had our Greek shows. Our previous brothers had secured a good reputation. All we had to do was not mess it up. By the mid-1980s, the brothers had taken party into new heights. They went off campus.
Come on now.
I can't tell you why this is illegal.
Come on, Chris.
I heard about some jail and gunshots, police actions, and irregularities. But suffice it to say, we used to party on campus and then we didn't. So we took it off campus, and that was a blessing in disguise. Because when the brothers of Lambda took the social scene off the campus and went into the city, it changed the whole social scene for the collegiate people in the city of Houston. Lambda running it. In the decades that followed, and it was decades, we've been here 50 years, it was decades that followed, these brothers developed themes for parties. Eric, I thought we had it going on. Keith, I thought we had it going on when we would put out posters and say, please come to the party. The brothers of Lambda, they started developing themes and having series of parties. You know, we're gonna have a party this year and next year, and then a year. I mean, that thing I put out there, blackout. There was a blackout 7. Well, that means there was a blackout 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These brothers having blackout parties every year. They having the Dukes that stole Christmas party, a night in the red. We like it rough. I'm in that thing. Blueprint. As wet as it gets, pool party. Yes, red, black and white ball, perfection, all white ball, and on and on.
All right.
Brothers ain't never gonna have a party.
Yeah.
So if you live across niggas, San Francisco, and I ventured out to Fisherman's Wharf to act like a tourist. Of course, I'm proudly wearing my frat shirt, because I got a bunch of them, because that's what Kappas do. We wear frat shirts. As I was enjoying the ambiance of the Fisherman's Wharf, 3 young newts in frat shirts saw me, and I saw them. We saw each other at the same time. And we walked towards each other, because that's what Kappas do. You know, my wife my wife was an AKA. And we'd be out, and it'd be AKAs wearing paraphernalia, and my wife would walk right on by. And I'm like, hey, my people ain't saying hi to your sorrows. They know what's good. We don't roll like that. I see a brother, I'm saying, yo, bro, we tapped it up. So the brothers came up to me. We walked toward each other. We came together. We smiled. We tapped up. We did like brothers do. They introduced themselves and said they had recently gone over the semester before at the University of California, Santa Barbara. I introduced myself as White Tornado, Fall 78, Ada Lambda, Space City News. Brothers. The instant I said Space City News, these brothers froze. Mouth dropped over. Pick your mouth up. They almost stepped back and they said, Space City? You from Space City? I said, I'm Space City. Well, these brothers, you'd have thought I was a Grand Pole. I thought one of them was going to drop to an knee and kiss my pinky ring. Brothers of Ada Lambda, these 3 groups, 1,000 miles away from here, they knew who we were, they know what we're about, they know our reputation. It precedes us because we are standing on the shoulders of giants. We hung out for a few minutes, dabbed up again and left. I sure felt good about being a Space City Noob, I gotta tell you. And then, y'all know me, so y'all know me. If you don't know me, you go learn. So I started taking, I don't want to take advantage of people, but I took advantage of the moment, so I started embellishing the truth. And so I said, when they said Paul said me, they knew how old I was. So I said, I taught them brothers at University of Michigan everything they know. I taught them how to shimmy, how to stroll. Taught them how to do two cane solo. I showed one how to step to the untouchable. We are the original untouchables. Paul said it. So, as we see, I'm almost done. There's too much history to go over in 20 minutes. I have 20 minutes, I'm probably over. The one constant, brothers, we talked about this, we talked about it last night, we talked about it in the dinner. I talked with some young brothers over there, I love those brothers. The one constant in the universe is change. And our chapter has changed a lot in 50 years. For example, we used to step. Now we shimmy and stroll. I gotta tell you, I'm 65 years old. When I first saw that stuff, I didn't like it. Okay, I didn't like it. I didn't. I was like, hey, what they doing over there? I was waiting until I said, Kappa, stop on me. Bob King, hey, Bob, shoot up. I was waiting on that. I did not like it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what it was doing this stuff. But then you fast forward to the 2000s and the advent of the probate shows. Old brothers. Y'all ever seen a probate show? You better get real. Get up in there. The brothers start shimmying and strolling, and within seconds, the girls go wild. Seconds. And don't let brother start doing like your shirt. There's gonna be some fun. So as I was watching, the video was watching then, I kind of cobbled that thing together. So I was watching probate show after probate show. I almost started yelling at the computer like a bunch of crazy black people at the movie theater. And as I saw the brothers doing their thing, I was like, go, stop! most recent Lambda show from 2023. Y'all know what I said to myself after I watched that show? I should have thought of that. So, brothers, as I close, I want to remind everybody of something that we already know. Being initiated in the Kappa fraternity at VA Lambda, University of Houston, can be a difficult task. Scott wrote in his VA Lambda challenge document that adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. In that same day, membership in Kappa Psi doesn't necessarily build character, it reveals it. Or more accurately, it gives you the opportunity to reveal it. Brothers, young brothers, old brothers, all brothers, what will you do with that opportunity? Will you just be a taker and reap the benefits of being a Kappa and a Space City youth? Or will you be a giver, using the unique talents that resides within each of you to fulfill the goals and ideals of achievement established by Elder Watson Diggs and the other families? We've earned the name Space City News. Let's use it. Do something with it. Don't waste your opportunity. And there's nothing wrong with a Kappa man standing on the shoulders of other Kappas to get the job done. As a matter of fact, that's what Kappa is supposed to do. That's why the shoulders are there. Last thing. Some Lambda traditions come and go, but there is one tradition that stands constant, everlasting, and can withstand the sands of time. Achievement. I challenge you. My brother Scott Thomas challenges you from the chapter Invisible to achieve greatness in your own way, in your own time, just as we did in our own way, in our own time. Good night, brothers, and God bless you.
Thank you, brother, for that important trip down memory lane for this chapter and for this organization. Appreciate it so much. One of the highlights of my 52 years in Kappa Psi was being a part of the Phoenix Alumni chapter. We hosted the Founders Day, and our guest of honor was Byron K. Armstrong. And I was the person who was designated as a former pole marker or undergraduate chapter to be the one who would pick him up, take him to the place, and I was so gratified to be able to do that. And then we'll forget, by that time he had a crutch. Well, he had one leg. And I was the one who helped him go to the bathroom and everything else. At the end of the evening, when we got ready to go and I took him back to the place where he was staying, he gave me the plaque that the organization had given him to thank me for what I had done for him. And I said, oh no, what you have done for me is much more important. But my wife knows that plaque is on my wall right now. Remember about K. Armstrong and what he did. Thank you for reminding us about the achievement. April 29th, I remember when we first started to go over, they told me that our search for finding power was over. It was inspiration, aspiration, perspiration. We were ready to believe anything. By that time, we said, yeah! No, that's not what it was. Now we know. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a man who knows all about it as well. Today, elected once again as the pole marker of the Houston Alumni Chapter, Brother Anthony DeBlanc, spring of 1981, introduce our next speaker.
All right, good evening, everyone. Listening to Craig and some of the studying points he was making, it really hit home with me. 43, going on 44 years ago, I came to the University of Houston as a 19-year-old kid, or 18 going on 19, and I thought I was the smartest person in the room. I came to university and I realized that what I thought I knew, I did not know, because there was a difference between Liberty High School and University of Houston. But my second semester I pledged, and that was, to this very day, the most important thing I've ever done in my life, because I was exposed to men like Brewster, like Wood, like Keith, like Craig, all these guys who were at the University of Houston that were achieving and doing things, and that put pressure on me to do the same thing, along with the guys I pledged with. We had 11 guys, and we all put that pressure on each other, so that is why I'm here. That is why I was able to get my undergrad, my master's degree in CPA, because of that peer pressure from being around guys like that. All right, so my purpose of being here is to introduce our speaker. You know, a lot of times we have these events, and your speakers are someone that you fly in, that is not really familiar with who you are. But we're fortunate that we have one of our own who's going to be our guest speaker. So our guest speaker tonight is Tony Brown. Tony Brown is the 1984 edition of the D.A. Lambda chapter of Kappa Psi. He was on the line after named 9 lives. He served while at D.A. Lambda as the strategist, the dean of pledges, and on the province level, he served as the junior vice promarch. He is a life member of Kappa Psi and a current member of the amazing Alexandra Alumni Chapter. Brother Brown is an 1988 graduate with a degree in radio and television broadcast journalism. He's a 36-year veteran in the broadcasting industry. He has served as an Associated Press Award-winning investigative journalist, a news anchor, a radio news director for a host of networks including NBC, ABC, Fox, a national CBS. Brother Brown, he got his start while he was in college as a news director at the University of Houston Radio and also at KTSU. He interned at Fox 46, which eventually led to his first full-time job as an assignment manager. His career journey has led him to places like to Beaumont, to Jacksonville, to Dallas, and most recently to Alexandria. And this is where he met his silhouette of 26 years, Bianca Brown. Brother Brown has three children, Shane, Joseph, and Sydney, and he has 8 grandkids, okay? He has served on the board of directors for the United Way of Central Louisiana, Boys and Girls Club of Central Louisiana, and has received honors as Businessman of the Year from the Central Louisiana Business League and the Central Louisiana Chamber of Commerce. He's the host of his own show called Eyes Wide Open with Tony Brown, which is the highest rated call-in talk show in Louisiana. Through his show, he exposes corruption. Brother Brown has been recognized by attorneys Ben Crump, the Reverend Al Sharpton, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and Martin Luther King III. Through his show, he has been credited with breaking the Genesis story, which led to the largest civil rights march since the March on Washington. Brother Brown has also been featured in several documentaries due to his work. Some of those are Sugartown, Race Hate in America, The New Jim Crow, Judgments and Jenna, and Brother Brown has been a panelist for more than 300 media outlets. He has also started his own radio show in 2002, and eventually he bought the radio station and is now the managing partner of Radio 2 LLC. And he's also the owner of Eyes Open Production. He recently accepted the role as Vice President of Global Marketing for Ward Holdings Africa, a pre-IPO company working to bring industry to the agriculture to East and West Africa. When people call him to his radio program, he gives them with the phrase, "Come clean or stay away nasty." So we know that he's going to come and do the same thing for us. So with no further ado, I introduce Tony Brown.
And when the Kappa pins
My line brother, Patrick Harris, told me after congratulating me about this great honor, which has been bestowed upon me this evening, don't go too long. Gary Franklin, the Nine Lives captain of the ship, never one of mixed words, said, "Congratulations, Tony. Don't suck." I'll try not to disappoint them both. Humor is never lost on any of my line brothers, so I will quote the first black man to ever walk the halls of the United States Congress, distinguished gentleman from Harlem, New York, Congressman Adam Clayton Powell. My message today will be like that of a woman's skirt, long enough to be respectful, yet short enough to keep it interesting. First, giving all honor to God, His Son Jesus Christ, who woke me up this morning. Not that I deserve to be here, but He felt the need for me to be here, and for that I am truly grateful. I want to thank my wife, the beautiful Bianca Brown, who is a retired Master Sergeant. Where you at, baby? Retired Master Sergeant from the United States Air Force. I've served more than 33 years. I can't speak for anybody else, man, but to me, there's something about a woman in uniform. I can't, again, folks, I found her 25 years ago, and she proposed to me the first time I met her. The truth is, I told her I was going to marry her the first time we met. We exchanged vows, our 25th wedding vows, just last year. The scripture says in Proverbs 18:22, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and has favor from the Lord." Tell me amen. That woman God gave me is the favor. I believe the reason that I'm standing here before y'all tonight. Thanks, you brother A.D. Anthony LeBlanc of the legendary Houston alumni chapter of Kappa, the largest chapter in the Southwest Province. Thank you, brother. I want to thank all the members of the Lambda Alumni Association, especially those who work tirelessly, volunteering their time and their resources to a whole lot of sweat equity and patience of mind to make our 50th anniversary a magnificent grand occasion that it is. I also would like to thank the 50th anniversary committee chairman, Brother Gregory Davis, his co-chair, Brother Joseph Perry, banquet chairman, big brother Ronald Hollywood Hayward, Brotherhood Experience chairman, Brother Remy Cole, Friends and Family Picnic chairman, Brother Dave Newhouse, and the Ad Book chairman, Brother Dale, as they said. I would be remiss if I didn't include our current Lambda co-bar, Brother Shady Adenote. Although he is not present, I want to recognize the National Chapter Grand Co-bar, Brother Jimmy McMichael, who's initially, as you know, asked to be here, but had a scheduling conflict. I never met the brother, but I hope to one day. I know from reading about him, he has done many great things to achieve his position as a national leader of our noble planet. But I also know those of you like me who were initiated into our beloved Lambda, he is not a member of the world-famous Space City News. I am. And you are. Many are called, few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. So I answered the Macedonian call on behalf of my Lambda brothers and my 9 brothers. 10th anniversary news. When I got the call, I told Brother Haywood, there are so many men in our chapter. Brother Joe McGann, our astronaut, Brother Bernard Harris, Brother Rudy Gray, so many others. Several on my line even, who I felt were more qualified and deserving of this honor. So I asked him the question, why me? He said something that I said reminded him of Esther. He said, by divine appointment, you were saved for such a time as this. He went on to say, the 50th is the gold standard. That's your precedent. I appreciated and understood his biblical reference. A challenge Mordecai asked Esther to accept from Esther 4, chapter 13 and 14. All I could say was as much humility as I could muster. And y'all know, humility is not a strong virtue I gave down to do. But I'm here and I'm truly humble, honored to have been asked to speak to all of my brothers and my friends who have gathered to join us for this golden celebration. I could get up here and give you a familiar speech about the chapters, past, the present, and the future. But as a broadcast journalist or a storyteller, I just wanted to come up here and do what I've always done. Tell my story. There's so many others sitting in the audience tonight who have their own story and share many great things about their Lambda experience and this difficult journey that we call life. Let me begin by saying, Houston, we have a problem, Brother Bernard Harris. Not just Houston, but the entire country has a problem. Right now, African Americans make up just 13% of this country, but are 48% of the prisoners who are doing life in this country are black men and black women. The wage disparity gap is atrocious. For every $1 a white family makes, a black family makes a meager 13 cents. For us to release ourselves from the generational shackles of heirloom poverty, education is still the key that breaks those chains. Our struggle is far from over. As I speak, my home state of Louisiana is rolling back judicial reform to start. Our right-wing governor, I call him Jim Crow Jeff Lambda, is getting rid of good time, probation, and parole. We all know who disproportionately that's going to affect.
Right.
Just as bad, he signed into law legislation that would charge all 17-year-olds, regardless of their crime, as adults. The quagmire is that the Sheriff's Department has no place to put them because their jails don't meet the federal guidelines for juveniles. All locked up and no place to go. No different than your Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who along with Jim Crow Jeff is trying to make America great again by eradicating black and brown people. The prison industrial complex under their leadership will grow over the next several years. We have gone from being sold like cattle on Main Street to being traded like stock on Wall Street. Most prisons have gone private and are freely trading on the New York Stock Exchange. In Louisiana, we were just able to overturn unanimous juries after 150 years of this illegal practice. Oregon, the only other state to do so as well, is actually issuing new trials of this illegal practice. Oregon again, who also basically said that they had many people in decades who fell victim to this travesty of justice. Louisiana won't go back and retry them like Oregon is doing. They said it will be too difficult. And most plaintiffs have died. The real reason is because they can't afford to get rid of this form of institutionalized slavery. It's their cash cow, and we are the beef. No one is immune from having their civil rights violated, especially in today's polarized climate. You can't hide behind your MDs, your PhDs, and your law degrees, especially if you're black in America. My wife and I have suffered the harsh blows of excessive force by police on our weekly date night more than 5 years ago. After I was blindsided from behind by an Alexandria police officer, I suffered a broken leg in 2 places, tore my rotator cuff, my wife got a concussion, and an ankle injury when the overzealous cop tackled me into her. All of this after a movie theater employee who was a registered sex offender disrespected my wife and put his hands on me as we were attempting to leave the theater. When a theater worker pushed me after defending her and myself, my wife screamed for help from the police officer who was down the hall. Instead of coming to assess the situation, Barney Fife ran down full speed and toppled me from behind into her. So we get attacked first. She calls police for help. I'm getting the guy off me. He stops advancing because he's not out of his shoes, then. And then he tackles me. I'm the victim all over again. The cop officer, Michael Rear, who had an extensive history of excessive force complaints from the citizens, knew exactly who I was. Because several years earlier, I had reported and called the chief of police on him. My first run-in with Rainier was after a business owner I knew called me for help after Officer Rainier was disrupting his business by illegally stopping and frisking black customers without probable cause. What happened to me, it happened to you. How did it end, you may be wondering? Yes, I went to jail with all of my injuries, but not before I made sure my wife was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Simply put, it ended with Officer Rainier, the theater manager, and the child rapist losing their jobs. Add to that lawsuit, which equaled a fat settlement check, which ended peacefully with a trip to my bank. That same author, James Baldwin, said, I am not your Negro. Now, who among us, after saving their own home and having the additional resources, would not help a neighbor whose house is burning? What kind of man can watch his community oppressed and will not stand up and do something about it? My work has placed me at close to 100 funerals of black men I didn't even know, fighting for a host of mothers who look like mine. When I began my show in 2002, I started tracking unarmed deaths of black men at the hands of police. No agency, including the FBI, was doing it. I put Eyes Open Radio on the air for that reason. Way before the murders by police of George Floyd, Michael Brown, Alton Sterling, or Ronald Green. Our communities are being overrun with police killings, illegal drugs, and gun violence. Most radio stations, white and black owned alike, are just giving us song and dance. Not to mention during morning drive times, the daily dose of stupid and fetching slapstick humor, distracting us from our real problems. I stopped counting the bodies after 15 years when the number reached more than 100. The number I tracked personally of black men and women who were killed by police, some while sleeping or watching TV in their own homes, children being killed for knocking on the wrong door, the elderly being shot in the back like dogs trying to run away from cowards who underqualified immunity simply had to say, I fear for my life. I know most cops are true public servants, like our good brother Kevin Jackson, a job where every day they have to get and deal with the cesspool of humanity. They have to get it done. Not knowing if you're going to make it home, putting their lives on the line for very little pay. I'm not talking about the majority of police officers who are good cops, those I've worked alongside for years as a crime and investigative reporter. But one bad apple in the police department is one too many. A few months ago, 26-year-old Jerome Stevenson died in a Marksville, Louisiana jail. He was beaten to death by 2 prison guards and an inmate. For almost 3 months, they tried to cover it up or come up with a way to cover it up. The Horse Parish Sheriff David Doza never released video or made any public statement about what happened until 3 months after Jerome's murder. I called the Horse Parish District Attorney Charles Weber a month after the murder. He told me he didn't know anything about it. I said, you are the lead prosecutor in the parish. How could you not know about a homicide in your own house? He then called the sheriff, called me back and gave the same lame story about it was inmate on inmate, and that's why the sheriff is keeping it quiet. I called Attorney Jim Crump for the family, got them connected with him, and now Ben Crump is representing that family. We held a press conference along with the NAACP, and because we kept the spotlight on this crime with community pressure for answers, we got 3 arrests, 2 jailers, and 1 inmate. Jerome Stevenson got a hit put on him in jail after he got the best of a racist guard who had been beating and bullying him. Was shocking even to me. I received an anonymous text with a picture of Jerome sitting in a holding cell just hours before he was beaten to death. It was a text from the warden to the sheriff after Jerome's run-in with the white guard. Excuse me, ladies, brothers, it's profane, but I don't want to dilute its sting. The sheriff text, is that bitch? The warden replied, yeah, that's him. The sheriff then says, send him to me. We got a place for him. Jerome Stevenson was found unresponsive the next morning and barely breathing in a hole, the only place in the entire prison void of video cameras. They pronounced him dead 2 days later at an Alexandria hospital. According to the autopsy, he was already brain dead when he got to the hospital. They kept him alive on a machine for 2 days until the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency could come and harvest his organs. The coroner said Jerome died of blunt force trauma to the head. He had a detached brain stem, a lacerated liver, and severe bruising. Simply put, Jerome was beaten to death while in police custody. Of course, they threw the black inmate who participated under the bus. She says, y'all know he would. They gave him the most severe charge of murder, while the jailers, the white jailers who let him out of his cell, received slaps on the wrist, malfeasance charges. I can remember the press conference where I spoke about this gruesome tragedy. No less than 6 mothers lined up in a single file to speak with me. I gave them as much time as they needed, allowing them to share their stories of the plight of their incarcerated sons. All of them felt hopeless, making no sound other than their words, but tears of grief flowing from their eyes and rolling down their cheeks while talking about their sons. In my 38 years as a broadcast journalist, I've had to know many mothers and families. I've seen those same tears many times before, but never back to back like that, all in one space. At this time in this year, more than ever, we can no longer, as an organization or individuals, be afforded to sit back on our laurel wreaths and just watch. Kappa, like all organizations, must try to do more to educate and mobilize voters. According to the national website, we already have 250,000 member base in place to do just that. Like all other similar Greek-level organizations, we suffer from self-imposed division and isolation. It's the old Willie Lynch mindset. That one is better than that one. As part of the so-called divine nine, we continue occasionally to engage in superficial collaboration. This often amounts to nothing that will have a substantial impact on the human condition in America's black community. I just saw last week they sent out an email and said that the Divine Nine has a clothing line coming out at Macy's. Did y'all see that? Yeah. Wow. Isn't that something? What if the Divine Nine work together to form a political action committee, also known as a PAC? Each organization already has an infrastructure in place. What if each member gives $1? With current membership numbers, we generate close to $2 million. What if we did that every month? Don't you think that's about $24 million a year? Don't you think with those kind of resources, we can change the political landscape of this country. Ecclesiastes 10:19, one of my favorite scriptures, saying, a feast is made for laughter, wine makes merry, but money answers all pains. Can I get an amen? We have less than 6 months before the presidential election in November, and the clock is ticking. We need to vote and encourage others to do the same, as if our life depends on it, because it does. Let's ask ourselves, what can we do as an organization or as individuals to help? We need more boots on the ground. And if our chapter is any indication or serves as a projection of our future growth, we're in trouble. In 50 years, we have only initiated 326 brothers into our chapter. By comparison, in the same length of time, plus 13 years, our Kappa founders were able to grow their numbers to more than 125,000 in 1974, the same year of our charter. Is it because we are too big, Brother Mark Foster? That's an average of 6 brothers a year. When you calculate the total number of students with the number of men on this campus who may meet our criteria for acceptance, that's only about 6 chosen among 2,000 every year. So in 50 years, it calculates to about 100,000 potential eligible candidates at your base, and we initiated just 326. That is not sustainable growth for this chapter's future. Whatever the problem is, we need to fix it, or in another 50 years, it'll Lambda might be non-existent. We need more brothers like Melvin Springer, who approached me outside this building more than 40 years ago. Thank you, Brother Springer, for your humility and introducing me to Ada Lambda. Had it not been for you, sir, I would not be standing up here tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. We must seek out the cream of the crop, Tron Allen, the chosen few who embody the spirit of finding power. We all know Kappa doesn't make the man, it's the man who makes Kappa out the side, not the other way around. Yes, for decades now, we've all heard the murmuring, it's not the same. The younger generation is not like us, and I was as guilty as many of you of saying the same thing. That statement is frank, but it's true. Many of those who came before us said the same thing about us, and now we are them. I read this just the other day, and I can't take any credit for it. I cannot share it with you. Respect the younger generation and their opinions. They may not have the same ideas as you, but they are the future and will take the world in their direction. Give advice, not criticism. And try to remind them that yesterday's wisdom applies today. Never use the phrase, in my time. Your time is now. As long as you're alive, you're part of this time. Some people embrace the golden years. Others become bitter and surly. Life is too short to waste your days on the ladder. Spend your time with positive, cheerful people. It will rub off on you, and your days will seem that much better. Spending the time you have left, however long, with bitter people will make you feel older and harder to be around. Close quote. The older we get, the more we face our own mortality, realizing how precious life is and that the clock is always ticking. For those of you like me approaching 60 or even older, time is not on our side. A stark reality is the average life expectancy of black men in America is just 75 years old. By that measurement, that gives me maybe 15 to 20 years, if I'm blessed. I've already broken the generational barrier in my family. My dad died at 56, his father at 36. I can't speak for any of you, but I refuse to go sit down or become inactive in my community when there's still so much work to be done. I applaud you brothers like Mark Gibson, who held public office, a seat human being like a dog under the table, waiting for scraps from the master to fall from that table. It's easy to become complacent, indifferent, or a spectator watching from the sideline, cheering others on from the bleachers. I get it. Believe me, I do. I've heard it said there are three types of people: talkers, critics, and there are doers. Talkers and critics are often dressed as friends, or maybe live under the same roof as the doer, who tries to do it all alone. It's ironic that the doer is the one that always gets talked about by the critics. Being a doer is tough, and is not for those who seek to be people pleasers. Speaking the truth and doing what is right will often make you a target. For you doers and you truth speakers, remember this. Jesus said, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness. You are blessed when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you." Matthew 5, 10, and 11. So keep doing, keep speaking the truth, getting praise from the Creator negates any noise from the creature. We can no longer afford to waste time or be asleep at the wheel, Thomas. We'll have plenty of time to sleep when we get called home. But now we must accept the fact that life is a race. Like the Apostle Paul said in 2 Timothy 4, 7 and 8, have you fought the good fight? Have you finished your course? Have you kept the faith? Or have you just quit? The other question we must ask ourselves is, which boat will you have a ticket for when you meet your maker? The unsinkable luxury liner made out of steel called the Titanic, or the one that smells like animals, creaky one made of gopher wood called Noah's Ark? Mathematically speaking, survey says a third of us brothers, my age or older, sitting here tonight, won't be here in 10 years when we celebrate our 60th anniversary. Making the most of our time, mending fences, building bridges, giving more than we take, and loving more should be our priority. The Bible says in Matthew 6:21, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Whether it's your family, your career, or capital, that's where you will focus your time and your resources. Being mindful also for those people who put their career and making money their priority. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world only to forfeit his soul? Mark 8 and 36. As we get older, sitting back and thinking only of oneself, while our communities are burning is a choice, and we all have that right. The fact that we're here tonight means that we are blessed. To whom much is given, much is required. Luke 12:40. I'm eating book chapter and verse. I'm going to look at scripture. Can I get amen? Amen. For all you younger brothers here tonight, getting old is a gift. And your youth does not guarantee you will be here a long time. In October 2022, 9 college students were shot at the Kappa frat house during homecoming at Southern University. A year before that tragedy, 1 person was killed, 8 others shot at Grambling State University's homecoming. Unfortunately, it was 2 Kappa men who had to deal with the fallout of these tragedies. Rick Gallo, president of Grambling State University, Dr. Wayne Dalton, then the president of Southern University in Baton Rouge. On a special note, Brother Gallo's new appointment made history in Louisiana. He's the first black man to become president and CEO of the University of Louisiana system, which includes 9 universities in Louisiana. Now that's achievement. Like God himself, death is no respecter of persons. Age, race, gender, or youth doesn't matter. So live every day like it's your last. They say the past is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is all we have. They call it the present. Like birthday and Christmas presents it truly is a gift from our Creator. Especially when we talk about speaking of the past, recognizing that change may not be easy but necessary to correct or fix what is wrong. 65 years ago, these Jim Crow brothers of hate, divisiveness, were the law of the land. Drinking fountain, white and color. Here's another one. Color, waiting room. And my final one here I'd like to show you today. We serve color, carry-out only. These were made of cast iron, meant to last a whole long time. If this demolition man showed up in our studio, he said he was tearing down an old antebellum house and found these pristine signs of hate, division, and white supremacy hidden in a wooden box in an attic. Until he gifted me with them, I had only seen those in old civil rights documentaries. I brought them here tonight so you can see this country's racist past, which they are now trying to erase from history. America had to be forced to change, and we had to use their own unjust legal system to do it. Now, diversity is a dirty word on campus. Right-wing governors are signing legislation which amounts to book burning. Valedictorians are being banned from giving graduation speeches on campus because they're Middle Eastern. And their words, our First Amendment rights, might incite a riot. The more things change, the more they stay the same. We protested on this very campus when Nelson Mandela was still locked up in jail, forcing the University of Houston to divest from South Africa. Our frat brother, Rio Roberts, a University of Texas transplant, was the Black Student Union president at that time. Now, college students across the country, even here, I saw it yesterday, are asking their schools to divest from Israel. The very foundation and fabric of this country our ancestors built was founded on is being torn apart. So things change and evolve for a reason. And if Ada Lambda is to survive, then the way we've been doing things must also change. When an unwritten policy has been criminalized and jeopardizes the existence of the body, it is asinine to continue that practice above ground or underground. Our hard-fought freedom is precious, and to have yours taken by going to jail is just plain stupid. Now, those who are found guilty will have their faces posted like a wanted poster in the post office. They're being arrested and outed and removed from the scrolls of Kappa Psi. Becoming an Ada Lambda Newt was not an easy goal to achieve when I pledged, and based upon our current numbers, it still is. When you have to report to big brothers named after natural disasters like the white tornado, or weapons of mass destruction like cannonballs, even worse, Big Brother Undertaker, the scroll of coffin naked, Brother Son, God so bad, Brother Drew Hawkins, who Big Brother's name warns you not to even cross his path, like Big Brother Detour. And at the top of my list, Jude, Big Brother Death. Even if you make it out alive, you're gonna wish you were dead. So it was refreshing to occasionally run across a brother like the late Al Singleton, 6 brothers before me, Big Brother Keith Naliwa, previous new neighbor without a doubt. I thank God tonight for those focused black men on this campus 50 years ago, just like the founders 63 years before them came together for one purpose. We all made a covenant, which was our pledge to achieve in every field of human endeavor. That commitment we made to our fraternity, to Ada Lambda, and to each other. And And the journey we all have endured is that bond. And if you work on it, like any relationship, it could last a lifetime. I shared with my line brother what a blessing it is when we first of all say to get older. Amen? What a blessing when so many in this chapel and our family and our friends are no longer here. I shared with my line brother Gary a few weeks ago back how many doctors I have to see and what one of my bishops said, what would happen when I reach 60, quoting my text to Gary. Gary, my rheumatologist told me once I turn 60, it's really going to be bad. I told him I have a neurologist, a retinologist, a cardiologist, a primary care specialist, an orthopedic specialist, a dermatologist, an optometrist, and a chiropractor. I jokingly said, it takes a whole team to keep me looking this good, Sam. Gary's replied, wow, I see the results, Tom, and I certainly wouldn't pay them.
Seriously though.
As we may not have known it then, but Kappa Alpha Psi has taught all of us and has given all of us so much. I know I can't speak for all of us, but as far as my experience, any measure of success I have enjoyed throughout my life and career, I owe in part a debt of gratitude to the founders who paved our way 113 years ago, and our 8 Lambda charter members a half a century ago. For you undergraduate brothers, pay close attention to those frat meetings. Testy at times, but important. Frat meetings train us for success. Learning Robert's rules of order has served me well, whether in my corporate boardroom or sitting in a board of directors of a nonprofit. As a journalist, it helped me cover local and state politics, city councils, school boards, county commissioners, state legislatures, most of which conduct their meetings the same way. Kappa taught me how to set a goal and how to achieve it, how to work with others, how to meet deadlines, how to fundraise, how to budget, cost projections, the importance of a democracy. Despite our office or our status as members of Kappa Alpha Psi, whether locally, provincials, or nationals, we all have one vote, and voting matters. Before I take my seat, I want to thank my Line Live brothers, Fred Richard with a D, Thomas Whitaker, Wendell Ferguson, Tron Allen, Travis Lewis, Gary Franklin, the first 8 Lambda captain not to lose any of his crew. And our tail dog, the tallest man on the line, Big Money's Mike Rogers, and our +1 Bobby Perry. I'll give my sons a big round of applause. Also at this time, will all of our charter members please stand up for me? All of the charter members, please stand up. Give them a big round of applause. Stay standing. All of the 8 Lambda brothers, please stand up at this time. Give them a big round of applause. To those silhouettes who came with their names, please stand up. Give them a round of applause. Friends and family, please stand. Those who serve in our military, the first responders, firemen like Xavier, please stand up. Give them a round of applause. If all who made this night possible, y'all give them a big round of applause. Hey, Lambda. Hey, Lambda. So Gary, when they asked me how I did, I'm going to tell them the truth. I got a standing ovation.
Thank you, Brother Brown, for those words of wisdom taking us to church tonight as well. And sprinkling it all with facts and reasons to give us encouragement to do more on behalf of this great organization we know as Kappa Alpha Psi. We've not started without the charter members we just talked about. Brother Ron Hayward, spring of 1977, coming forward now with the charter members' presentation. Cut it short. Spring of 1974. Brother Hayward.
Thank you very much. I'm going to get Michael Bailey, Brother A.D. Buffett, Brother Rodney Adams, Brother Kenneth Silks, Brother James Randolph, and Brother Martin Mitchell. Please come in the row.
I'm going to accept the trophy on his behalf. Call back.
Okay, my name is Tony Bowden. They call me Lucifer back in the day. I want to present this award to my big brother for life, Alvin Brown.
Just a moment. Let brother Brown hear that brother. Remember what it says. All right. I am going to present this to a very inspirational brother. Pledged under him. He actually did my taxes when I had some money to actually get me funded on that. But he knew about it. The man knew exactly what to do. Put me in comfort all the remainder of my days. This is for Brother Gerald Miguel.
My name is Kevin Simmons. I'm here to present this award to Mark Roberts, better known as Praise Mark. The praise is due to his imagination and ingenuity.
I'm here to present this award for Brother Willie Gray, who's my dear son, the gracious enough to accept this in his behalf. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Martin Mitchell, aka J-Ray. When Ron called me to ask for this presentation, I started to answer with one of my old strong go-tos, which goes like this. My head is made of African ivory, Tennessee mark, and serves as a pivotal barrier for those who seek the undue complications of my poetry. In short, I am dumb. Damn dumb. And I do not understand. But I'm not going to do that. So without any further delay, this award goes to Mr. Larry.
First of all, I say greetings to my fellow brothers from Kappa Alpha Psi and to my Lambda family in this great Houston community. I stand there before you, first of all, I got to do one thing. They called out the roll, but without that roll, they would not have been here without blood, sweat, and tears. Spring of '72, we pledged during the period of great unrest in America. I listened to our fellow speakers, and I listened to Brother Brown resolving all the issues that we deal with. But the history of this chapter, you got to recognize that in 1962 was the first year they accepted African Americans into the school. Not only that, we dealt with areas of what they call post-civil rights movement, but we also dealt in the black national movement. What we dealt with, you talk about the stuff that you hear Brother Brown talking about, we dealt with that. We put that badge on to make a better way for us. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize my line brother, who was the first hallmark of 89. He's a captain invisible to the hill. Things as the department just don't do. But then the first African American queen of homecoming here at the University of Utah, Utah. But we had to honor her. We had to deal with issues that not only made us students, not only made us Kappas, but made us ambassadors for our African American race. And I am standing here on behalf of my brothers to say how proud we stand in awe to see the job that Lambda has done in the areas of achievement continue on. So as I close, I also got a challenge. We're not done. Far from done. The challenges of the legislation. Our way of life that we fought for in the 60s, should we be still fighting those same battles today? We have the capability, we have the ability, we have the force. The numbers we have with the Divine and the Kappa Alpha side, we've got to continue to resolve and use those for the better good of mankind. That's what we're about. That's what Kappa is about. And I'm proud to say, I'm so proud to be a member of Lambda. I say, just admit it. Y'all showed up and showed out. Thank you.
And I would be remiss if I did not give this last presentation. One of the lessons about returning that we have the ability to be among ourselves, represented the hundreds of women from PGA. And I want to present this award to Brother Tony Brown. Please.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'd like to ask you to turn your attention to the video stream. We have a video from Brother Miles Coleman, spring 2016. Will be followed immediately by Brother Richard Thomas.
Jim Charlie played his spring 2000 here as a true freshman. I pledged the same year I met my wife. We were married on this campus and probably conceived my son on this campus. The contributions of the Lambda chapter are undeniable. I can't tell you what a blessing it is to see older brothers Vision Spring 2000, I've seen every single line after me. All right, I have a relationship with all of the young brothers, and I plan to be here for every anniversary here coming. I hope to see all you brothers with me. As you travel around Houston and think about our contributions, Brother Bernard Harris, I'm a current principal. Brother Bernard Harris gave me the opportunity to serve in this summer science camp. Me and my line brother Tim Mitchell on this campus. Probably one of the reasons that led me to education. Brother Rudy Gray has been instrumental in scholarship and mentorship. Brother Gerald McGill, if you walk around the University of Houston today, it looks nothing like the time when I was on the yard. Those contributions came under his leadership as the University of Houston Board of Regents member.
Sir.
If you travel around the city and you're hungry, you can be fed by groups like Dorsey Perry running the Palace Company, or Don Bowie serving a taste in the heart of downtown. As I go to the Astros game, one of the first groups that helped me out as I was serving tables, Sean Roberts, faces flashing on a billboard overlooking the city. Eric Williams also graced that same billboard as the first black president of South Texas law. If you get in law trouble, the contributions in law of Mark Gibson, Ashton Taylor, Trey Meredith, B.J. Kemp, Bonnie Lyle, Danny Norris are all blazing in law. Myself, Manuel Robeson, and Carl Blaze are leading in education. Fred Taylor, Byron Joker, and Tim Mitchell are leading real estate. Shannon Broussard and George Williams have an influence on the medical field. Def Jam Blaster provided music for over decades. All of these are contributions from State City Youths to lead us to where we are now. The Ada Lambda chapter of Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated was chartered on May 5th, 1974 on the campus of the University of Houston. The creation of this chapter required the collaborative efforts of many students over the course of multiple years and college campuses. Once they completed the first goal of establishing a new chapter, their legacy of achievement would continue. Throughout the 1970s, Ada Lambda was a pillar of campus life, offering many social as well as informative programs for the student body. They quickly rose to the challenges of being black students at a predominantly white university by attaining positions within student government and helping black voices and concerns be heard. These traditions of campus leadership continued through the years with Ada Lambda's involvement with many on-campus organizations during its first 50 years. Ada Lambda has supported higher education with thousands of dollars in scholarships awarded to non-members and members alike. Being a college-based organization, the Ada Lambda chapter of Kappa Psi Fraternity has always promoted higher learning. They have served as mentors to high school students through their guidewire program, as well as assisted the less fortunate during holiday seasons through various local charities and initiatives. With the primary purpose of achievement, Ada Lambda boasts a proud roster of men who have achieved in every field of human endeavor. They have produced doctors, lawyers, politicians, athletes, entertainers, entrepreneurs, and even the first black astronaut to make a spacewalk. The bond of fraternity has been strong since the very first days of Ada Lambda. Lifelong relationships have been forged where members have gone from friends to true brotherhood. Through the triumphs and challenges of life during these first 50 years of their existence, the State City Youths of the Ada Lambda chapter of Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated have always remained steadfast in their love and support for one another. I'm very proud to announce that John Whitmire, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proclaims May 5th, 2024 as Ada Lambda chapter of Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated Day in Houston, Texas. What I just read is on the plaque and it will be emailed to brothers shortly. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Brother Gregory Davis, fall 2008, Vice President of the Lambda Alumni Network, undergraduate advisor as well, with a Rudy Gray Scholarship presentation.
Good evening. It's an honor to be up here to present the Rudy B. Gray Scholarship. Rudy Gray is one of our charter members, as all you know. Rudy Gray blessed his candidates in the fall of '73 through the fall of '76. He was a pre-law major, worked all 3 years as a programmer in the political science department, and is currently a successful business owner. Brother Gray once said he would get a better return on his investment if he banked on State City rather than putting his funds into the stock market. Even in his absence, we thank you, Brother Gray, Ada Lambda, charter member.
Thank you, brothers. Just real quick, Rudy Gray Scholarship cannot be mentioned without the formation of the Ada Lambda Alumni Network. The Ada Lambda Alumni Network was formed in 2016. And at that time, Rudy came up to me and said, Keith, what can we do to provide opportunities for the young men in our chapter to ensure that they have funds to go to college? Because many of them were dropping out because they did not have money. And so we talked about it. And Rudy decided, he said, hey, I want to give some money for the young men so they can go to school. What about $3,000 a year? Will that help? I said, then that'd be great. He said, well, I'm going to give $10,000. And so we started out, he said $10,000. And we talked about what that scholarship would look like. And so I get a FedEx envelope in the mail. It says check, but it's not 10. It's for 10 times 10. And what he decided to do, he wanted to start an endowment so that the interest off that money would fund the scholarship. But he quickly found out that it wasn't enough. And so he changed it. He said, no, I don't want to fund it off the revenue. I want to fund it, period. So we changed the scholarship amount. Well, we didn't change the amount. We changed the MOU with the university. And because of the Rudy Gray Scholarship, it was the first scholarship given to an African-American D9 organization and alumni, period. The Ada Lambda Alumni Network was the first D9 organization within the University of Houston Alumni Association Foundation. And that came about because of conversation with Wayne Luckett and with Joe McGill. And that's how the Ada Lambda Alumni Network came to be, and that's how the Rudy Gray Scholarship came to be. And right now, that scholarship initially was $100,000, and now it has paid off $67,000 just to Ada Lambda brothers. And Rudy wanted those brothers to get that money. And when they did all prepared, if they could, and if they were so inclined, to seed money to pay it forward to other young brothers coming behind them. So we are proud of the Rudy Gray Scholarship, but also understand that there are brothers in this room who have scholarships in other parts of the University of Houston that are just as significant, if not more so, multiples. So look around this room. There are 8 or 9 brothers who are funding scholarships at this university. Some of them you don't even know, but we're here to honor Rudy because Rudy is giving it specifically to 8 or 9 brothers. Thank you.
So without further ado, I'll go ahead and present the 24-25 Rudy Gray Scholarship. First, with a 3.9 GPA, studying mechanical engineering, expected to graduate December 24th. Third year community mentor, Nessie member, 2 times dean list, 2 times Dell summer intern, 2 times vice president, and now a 3-time Rudy Gray Scholarship awardee, Brother Travis Taylor, spring 22. Next, with a 3.9 GPA, major in finance, May 2025 expected graduation date, second year RA, Nigerian Students Association Parliamentarian, Nigerian Students Association Director of Events, Black Business Student Association member, 2 times Deanless, Collegiate 100 member, current strategist and assistant keeper of exchequer, Summer 24 financial advisor intern for Northwestern Mutual, Brother Milan Pimp, Fall 23.
Good evening, how y'all doing? My name is Walter Murray, Baltimore Michigan, and I just want to say thank you to all the brothers that are here today. It's very surreal to be a part of. 50 years is definitely something to commemorate, and I wanted to say a special thank you to some of the brothers that have really guided me. Greg Davis, Diallo Smith, Michael Okonkwo, Dayon Dunlap, and my dean, Justin Jones, my ADP, Brandon McDaniels, my pole mark, Travis right here. And special thank you to my LPs. I got mad love for y'all, and this is just something that's very surreal. I'm very grateful, and yo to the good news, man.
It makes you feel proud seeing those young men, brother. I couldn't have bought a 3.9 GPA. But I made it. Definitely, right? I want to acknowledge Brother Lockett. Would you stand up for a second, Brother Lockett, Wayne Lockett. Lockett, sorry. Lockett's another one. Brother Lockett, thank you for what you have done as a part of all of this. As one of the pre-charter University of Houston brothers, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You mean a lot for what this organization has been able to accomplish through the years. And you use pretty good wine, too. Thank you, yo. We're all life members. Would you please stand? Life members in the room, please stand and be recognized. Thank you so much. There are some special acknowledgments coming up. Brother Tom Boudreaux, Spring 83, followed by Brother Dorsey Perry, Spring 2002, and Brother Davis Fall, Brother Gregory Davis, Fall 2008. Boudreaux.
Good evening once again, we won't be long. To our charter members, thank you again. To our charter line, Cody Sark, thank you and congratulations, 50 years in the bottom. Michael Bailey, Keith Wade, Ronald Ballard, Aubrey Butler, Rodney Adams, Arthur Johnson, Kenneth Simmons, James Randolph, Thaddeus Wheaton, Alan Wilson, Milton Hollis, and Marvin Mitchell. You were the first line to be initiated into our chapter, and that's something all of us cherish forever. Of the 12 names previously mentioned, we have 6 here with us today, and as a token of our appreciation, we wanted to present you all with your white coats, which you already have, so now you have 2 brothers. Thank you all very much.
Good evening. Next slide. 41 years ago, a Lambda initiated its most debonair, charming, dapper, and stylish line code. This line of the name was Pieces of the Dream, and it started off with 10 pledges and finished with the 6 most handsome brothers in history. This line was so good looking, it also attracted 14 sweethearts, the most in history.
other good-looking brothers that came after us. The next slide, please. Lonnie's so good looking again. The brothers couldn't wait to take pictures with him after they These brothers were Paul McClendon. You do the next slide, please. Paul McClendon, Eddie Ash, Dave Gilmore, Keith Daniels, Tom Woodrow, and Al Singleton, also known as P.I.Y. You heard Tony Brown mention that earlier. Bernie's new body without a doubt. However, as fate would have it, three of these brothers from this historic line have gone on to reach the golden shore, chapter invisible. Next slide, please. Those brothers that have passed on, Alfred Singleton, Eddie Ash, and Paul McClendon. These brothers loved Ada Lambda so much, and everybody affiliated with this historic chapter. This is especially true for number 2 online, Eddie Ash. Eddie loved Ada Lambda, he loved his line brothers, and he loved Kappa. Eddie lived in New Jersey, and every time he'd come to Houston, he'd get on the phone and try to find out who from Ada Lambda was available to hang out with. I thought he was just crazy about me because he always called me, but then I would find out that other brothers and hanging out with I want to recognize that Eddie's family is here today, represented back there. They can give away. His love for Ada Lambda continues through his family and his wife. Kimberly, can you come up here, please? Through his family and his wife, Kimberly has, for the past 3 or 4 years, paid for the recertification fee for the Ada Lambda brothers for the whole child. By taking up this burden, the Ada Lambda, the undergrad brothers do not have to bear this financial burden. So brothers, please help me congratulate Ms. Kimberly Ash on taking care of the financial and her continued support of Ada Lambda Chapter.
Good evening, everyone. I had the privilege of being married to the deuce of pieces of the dream, a man who loved his fraternity and loved everybody he ever came in contact with. When I met him, anytime he passed a little boy on the street, the boys would stop and say, "Yo, baby, yo." But it's overwhelming. I just want to say he loved the chapter so much. And we had an epic love story. I tell you that another time. But I promised in my heart that his name would never fade to black. And as long as I have blood in my body, and his sons, and his daughter back here, and all those beautiful people who just stood up, have blood in our bodies, Ada Lambda will receive those funds. My mother died 3 days before her 16th birthday. And to honor his birth, I always send out a text for all my friends on August 13th asking to honor him by donating to this fund. Yeah, I feel like I know a lot of you guys. Just one thing, when you all talk about all those parties, when I met my husband and found out his line name. Edno the Gigolo. I just want to say, when he left here almost 10, 20, 21, he was Paul.
That's a good way to end it. That's a good way to end it. So, April 29, 1972, myself, Cambro, Silver Fox, Marshall, number 2 behind Daryl Sugar Bear Russell, ahead of John Sweet Love Russell, and Will Yellow Cab Calloway, and Patrick Dolomite Brown. Across those burning sands, and my life has never been the same. You all know what I'm talking about. I hope that you continue to go ahead and embrace this great fraternity that we have. Continue to love each other, care for each other, support each other. Let's make sure that we're here to go ahead and celebrate another 10, 20, 30, 40, and beyond for this great chapter of the Lambda. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations on those of you who won awards. Remember, you brothers, we got white jackets over here on the side, so come over and get those. Congratulations. Be safe as you're driving home. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night.
My darling, I can't get enough of your love, babe. Girl, I don't know why. I can't get enough of your love, babe. Lord, some things I can't get used to, no matter how I try. It's like the more you give, the more I want. And baby, that's no lie. Oh no, babe. Tell me, what can I say?